Nigeria's journey into the realization of democratic governance was not achieved on a platter of gold. It was a huge struggle because of the long years of military rule. While some lived to tell the story, others were swept away by the storm. They paid the supreme price for Nigeria's democracy. One of such people was Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, MKO, the winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election. The presidential election held in Nigeria on the 12th of June 1993 was the first after the 1983 military coup that ended the country's second republic. Many considered it as a watershed in the history of the country, as the votes were devoid of tribal and religious sentiment. Eligible Nigerians who were obviously tired of the military rule came out in their numbers to exercise their franchise using option A4, where voters had to queue behind their preferred candidate and be counted. At the end of the election, Chief MKO Abiola, who contested under the platform of the Social Democratic Party SDP, defeated Bashiru Tofa of the National Republican Convention (NRC).
For this life, oh, na so palava. I tire for this problem. I tire for life, oh. Guinea, no work, no food, no house, no life. This small water, then they bring na so dirty, they pull am. This small money, I they get na so transport, they chop am. School low, na headache, hospital, no work. I tire for life, oh. My brother, waiting you they think, oh. My sister, help don't come. SDP, MKO, Kingibe, action. MKO, Kingibe, SDP, progress. Abiola na the hope, SDP na the party to solve our problem and better our life. Oh, MKO, 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 action. Abiola, 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 progress. Now he be the hope for better tomorrow.
The winner of the election was never declared as the then military head of state, General Ibrahim Babangida, IBB, annulled the entire election, citing electoral irregularities.
It is true that the presidential election was generally seen to be free, fair, and peaceful. However, there was in fact a huge array of electoral practices virtually in all the states of the Federation.
The annulment led to protests and political unrest in the southwest region. It also led to the resignation of General Babangida on the 24th of September 1993 and the creation of what many described as a weak interim civilian government headed by Chief Ernest Shonekan, a prominent corporate executive from the southwest region, with General Sani Abacha, a confidant of Babangida, serving as a defense minister. On the 27th of November 1993, General Abacha toppled the interim government in a palace coup. He dissolved the legislature as well as the state and local government and replaced the elected civilian state governors with military officers.
Sequel to the resignation of the former head of the interim national government and commander-in-chief of the armed forces, Chief Ernest Shonekan, and my subsequent appointment as head of state and commander-in-chief, I have had extensive consultations within the armed forces hierarchy and other well-meaning Nigerians in a bid to find solutions to the various political, economic, and social problems which have engulfed our beloved country and which have made life most difficult to the ordinary citizens of this nation. Chief Ernest Shonekan took over as head of state and commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces at the most trying time in the history of our country. Politically, economically, and socially, there were lots of uncertainties.
And as expected, MKO Abiola kicked and demanded for the restoration of his stolen mandate.
Our postponements and cancellations too. The country knows how busy and how otherwise occupied I've been all my life. Knowing fully well the misfortune of other distinguished Nigerians in the recent past, I made the wildest possible consultation and sought assurances that I would not be chasing shadows. These assurances were given in some cases from the highest level of government, I consulted the president himself, and he gave the assurance himself that this time around he was serious. I was therefore convinced that the commitment to civilian rule come August 27, 1993 was firm, settled, and irrevocable. I could not imagine that the purported transgressions of the judiciary could possibly today. Nigerian polls crowd as democracy is put on hold. Nigerian general voice vote blocking civilian rule. I will give you copies of all this. The International Observer Group says so. NEC itself says so. They know it and they said it. In his affidavit to the Court of Appeal in Kaduna, NEC said the results were ready and known. I won.
He was arrested and charged with treason in June 1994 after he declared himself president and commander-in-chief. Abiola's arrest led to protests and strikes by workers in the petroleum sector, banking sector, and the higher institutions for 9 weeks, paralyzed the economy, and the Abacha government subsequently arrested union leaders and dismissed civilian members of his cabinet. Sani Abacha died on June 8, 1998. MKO Abiola died a month later while in detention on the 7th of July, 1998. MKO Abiola did not die in vain, as former President Muhammadu Buhari in June 2018 directed that the nation's Democracy Day will henceforth be held on June 12, as against the initial May 29. And a year later, in 2019, President Buhari assented to the bill legalizing June 12 as Nigeria's Democracy Day. It did not end there. MKO Abiola was recognized as Nigeria's president-elect posthumously and was awarded the highest national honor of the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, GCFR, alongside his running mate, Babangana Kingibe.
I present Basharun Moshood, Kashimawo, Olawale, Abiola for the conferment of the posthumous award of the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, GCFR.
Former President Muhammadu Buhari said the recognition was aimed at settling national ills and reconciliation.
Look at what he did. He went as far as Maiduguri to pick a Muslim. He was a Muslim. Babagana Kingibe is a Muslim from the north. But nobody talked about religion or that he was Yoruba and Babagana is Kanuri. People took them as Nigerian. I think that was the biggest success of Abiola, which made an impression in me that when I have the opportunity, I want to make sure that his name has been put in gold right away.
31 years after the June 12, 1993 debacle, analysts believe Nigeria's democracy still has a long way to go. Two legal practitioners, Mr. Bimbola Ige and Mr. Olufemi Anyodokun, reaffirmed that the worst civilian government is better than the best military administration. They, however, maintain that the key to good governance is a formidable electoral system that will give Nigerians the confidence that their votes truly count.
We may not have gotten to where we are destined as a nation, but we were not where we used to be. For instance, people expect better deal from the government in terms of quality education, in terms of quality delivery of democratic tendencies.
Yes, we may have had interregnum when the military took over power, but we, the people, were still we, the people, who yearned, okay, to govern ourselves. Democracy is government by the people, for the people, okay? That's what we understood, what Aristotle said. And that is common experience anyway. When people elect their leaders and they have a say in how they are governed, you tend to have peace in that type of climb. You tend to have economic development, you tend to have advancement, you tend to have progress, okay? Because you see, you can call to question those who govern you. This we said you should do to rule over us as a councillor, as a member of House of Assembly, as a senator, as a representative of the people at Federal House of Representatives, as a governor, as the president or the vice president. Give account to us. What are you doing? Are you doing the process? That's not what's happening in Nigeria presently.
Aluchi Amuda, OSBC News.